We got some good episodes coming. This one that we've been waiting, you know, a little while to make it happen, but what better day than today? We just caught in the rain a little, but we still out here. And my man Honcho behind the camera. Bloom out here, you know, to me.
What up, what
y'all
up,
definitely
what up?
the, you know, top people in Philly with the cameras. You know, Honcho, obviously, he worked with me personally. But when it really, you know, start with this, you know, it comes to Bloom. But I want to start off with something that we just started. Like last episode is going to be Rider of the Week. Honcho had me start. I like the idea just to try to get a couple people. And for me, and this is the most unbiased one I'm going to do. Y'all might not believe, but my son, Bike Star Arcade, and like, his come up has been crazy. He's one of the people who's always tagging me. So I always see his stuff. Like, I'm not saying he's doing the most out there, but to me, that's who tagged me, let me see. And just, man, he definitely coming for that one-way spot because that's what he wants.
Definitely.
And he just been killing it. You got a Rider of the Week before we get into it? Like,
off the top of my head, the first person that comes to mind is One Way Willie. It's definitely One Way Willie.
He definitely started.
This man's control is downright retarded. Like,
yeah, make sure y'all follow him too. His app going to be on the screen.
It's different. I'm sure you can put some clips up of One Way Willie, but like, I done recorded this man multiple times, and it's hard to keep up with him just because of how fluently he moves. But One Way Willie, he got tricks and control, and that's something that a lot of people don't got. A lot of people, when they get in the bikes, they jump straight to the combos and all types of stuff. And I'm not talking just regular combos. I'm talking about people jump into the most complicated combos.
Yeah, can't even wheelie in the pack.
And can't even wheelie in the
That's what I say all the time. Like, I literally practiced a year before I even tried anything. I would just swerve and shake my bike doing dumb stuff.
Just to get a feel for how the weight moves on the bike.
And I see a lot of these kids, like you said, and he's definitely like, you know, can't nobody argue with him. He's definitely one of the top, especially like when you talk East Coast riders, like we're different in general.
Yeah, East Coast is completely different in general.
Yeah, we're different in general, and he's definitely one of them names that, you know, when people speak on it, they
you come up.
Yeah, you know. You might not want to battle him and play with him in traffic. Like, you know, he's somebody you might
don't
want
throw
to
shots at him in traffic. Don't do that.
Yeah, like I've been telling everybody, you know, I know a lot of people know y'all just from your work out Philly, but you know, Bloomfield Productions. I mean, just from day one, me coming into the riding, you know, it probably might have been around the same time. We'll get into that, but 2017, you was out here popping out with your camera. You're one of the first people to really be making bike life videos. And you know, you took it from just an iPhone to what we see now, high quality productions. You know, I know they was chasing you down trying to get you in Swerve the movie. That's gonna be dropping soon. That didn't work out, but you did pop out.
Definitely had to show love for sure.
Yeah, no, your work is crazy. So you know, go and tell the people, you know, your name, age, where you from, all that.
All right. So firstly, for those that don't know, my real name is actually Lawrence. The Bloomfield Productions comes from the last name, which is Bloomfield, which is how I got my name. A lot of people know me as Bloom, Bloomy, or Bloomfield whenever they see me. I'm 21 years old now, turn 22 next year, and straight out of Philly. And yeah,
man, it's crazy.
Bloomio, that's new. I like that though. I ain't even gonna lie.
Bloomio and Juliet. Nah, Bloom. Like, real talk. You've been out here since day one, putting on. Like, you know, I'm excited to get you on because you know it's the cameraman that really is the people that build the culture. That, you know, like me as a rider, I came in this. You know, I kind of came into as a clothing brand. Well, the rider, then the clothing brand, and then you know. But, you know, without the cameraman, we can't be seen. Like you just said, you just shouted out Willie. And because you liked his style so much is because you're trying to chase him with the camera.
Yep.
So you know what he's doing different. You get to see it different from a different perspective. And, you know, y'all the people that is behind all these good viral videos that we see, this, that. But y'all don't never get the credit y'all deserve. But, you know, you're somebody who has, you know, been finessing the game to, you know, be able to figure out a way to monetize it, make your money, and you know, keep everybody happy. All the people that you're recording, just, you know, really be able to do for everybody. But you know, the main question that at least me and Honcho, you know, been, you know, because we always think about who we going to interview. We wanted to know with you what came first, really, the camera or the bike. Like, was you into the photography and all that, like doing your camera thing? All that. I know you went to what, Temple maybe? What school you go to?
I was going to community college first, and
yeah.
then I transferred to Temple in 2020.
Yeah, because like everybody, I know we just always look at you're in college, you're doing your camera thing, so you know that it all came for us at the same time. So what were you really doing first?
So believe it or not, the riding actually came first, and I started back in like 2014, and I had a lot of ambition to literally be like One Way Corey. I'm not gonna cap. I seen Corey. The first things first. When I started riding, I didn't know anything about cameras whatsoever. Like, I strictly just saw somebody wheeling one day and said, "Yo, I want to do that." And you know, I made an Instagram. And the first person I seen on Instagram was D-Blocks. The first person that I seen in Philadelphia, where we live at, was Corey.
Yeah.
So, you know, I started riding around with my friends, going out, went to my first ride out, all types of stuff, and quickly came to realize that I guess I didn't have the same skill as everybody else. And a lot of times my friends would result to saying, "Yo, hey Bloom, you know, record this video for me." And it's like, generally, you get the person in the group that sort of sucks to record the vids, because it's like, bro, you're not wheeling anyway. And I got that quite a bit, like, bro, you're not even that good anyway. Feel me? Just record this vid. Because every time, back then, we all was on 20 inches. So when you seen a hill, everybody wanted to do peg work down the hill. You know, so it's like, I'm like
sacrificing you.
Yeah, they were sacrificing. I'm like, dang, I can't even hit this hill, man.
You
like
ain't hitting the hill with us. Record us all getting it.
Yeah, so that's how that played out. And eventually, I started to realize, like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little hand for this. So I started taking it a little bit more serious. My dad was already
seeing the skill in the recording rather
just
than
off the iPhone.
I'm not doing that, but I'm making them look good.
Yeah, yep, that's exactly what it was.
Started seeing your progression. Really.
They posted it, and I learned that I fell in love with seeing other people do better. So it's like, you know, that's why that's why I turned into that. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. That's why I turned into this sort of hype man / you know, filmmaker, because it's like, it's one thing to pull up on somebody with a camera, and you know, they see a camera, either they start talking, they talk, or they throw the bike up immediately. But it's another thing to, you know, when somebody puts the bike down, you hear it so many times in the pack. Oh man, hold on. Oh, I need more speed. Oh, I was going too slow. Bro, don't tell me nothing that you did or didn't do. Pick the wheel back up and go at it again, and do it again till you land it, because the camera not coming off you until you land it. Because that's the clip I'm gonna use. So, you know, once I realized that I was really good with it, and my dad, like I said, my dad was doing photography, so I actually went ahead and took his camera. Now, he didn't even know this, but I went into his little photography room, his little studio. I took one of his old cameras. It was a Nikon D40, and I took this thing, went over a block, went with my friends, and just started snapping pictures. I was already pretty tech savvy because I knew how to like edit videos at this point, but I took the vids, I downloaded like a cracked version of Photoshop, put all the vids in, or put all the pictures in there, and then started messing with them. Exported them, figured out a way to put it on my phone through Dropbox, posted my very first picture on Instagram, and when I posted that picture, I said, yeah, I want to do this. Right. I want to do this.
So that's
definitely want to do this.
So it was really when you got the camera and took them pictures that you knew, like, that's what let you know, like, this is what's for me and this is what I want to do.
Before the camera, I actually wanted to be a theoretical physicist. I was in 3rd grade when I wanted to do that. I wanted to be a scientist so bad. It was either going to be physics, astronomy, or astronomy. I think it was one other thing. I can't. Chemistry. So it was going to be one of those 3. And once I got the camera in my hands, I said, yeah, nah, I want to do this. I want to do this, and that's what I did.
So you said one-way quarries who really got you started. So that was definitely the motivation when you got started. You know, just seeing the videos from D-Blocks from the New York. You know, I was the same way. Like I said, when we started, nobody had the videos. You had D-Blocks, and then you out here seeing quarries.
You seen it all the time. D-Blocks was out here just when the suicide swerve started to get like big. Yeah. That's when, if you was going viral back then, you was really putting in some work. And to see somebody doing the just swerving, playing around in traffic like that, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was different because it's never been seen before, and people was going, wow. It was a different scene back then. Definitely when we came into it, 2017. You know, a lot of things changed. Like, you know, I know you was one of the first people from Philly. You know, obviously Corey was on, Rye was on with SE, all that. But you know, I know Todd Lyons ended up giving you a bike before, and that was, to me, just looking from the outside, that was a start of a big journey to kind of let you know, like, okay, these companies really see what we doing, appreciate it. You think that contributed, you really seeing the value in what you're doing, and knowing, because I see you work with a lot of big companies now, which, you know, we'll get more into, but you think that might have been like the start of that, like just
100%. I can definitely say 100% shout out to Todd Lyons and SE Bikes, because realistically, if it wasn't for them, I would probably say there wouldn't be much of a Bloomfield Productions. And I'm not, you know, downplaying myself by any means, but I can say that me being a pretty hands-on person, I love to put stuff together. I was always putting bikes together, but, you know, things break, and when you're young, you don't have any money. So, you know, I took something that I actually cared about, which was taking pictures at the time. If you actually go really far down into my Instagram page, you'll see there's a lot of pictures. And I sort of transitioned over to just doing strictly videos, because I barely take pictures anymore. But I was taking a lot of pictures, just going out at ride outs, taking pics, taking iPhone vids, telling people, yo, tag SE Bikes, tag Todd Lyons. And it really wasn't even, I didn't want them to tag me, or I didn't want people to tag SE to get a free bike. I wanted SE to repost my stuff.
You wanted them to see what's going on.
So I could build my following, because I knew.
You wanted to contribute to the community.
I knew that my exposure meant a little bit more to me than the money, because it's like, and I'm not saying, you know, fame over money, but it's just like,
no, but you got to build yourself up to a certain extent to be able to get these deals. Like,
I feel like me personally,
you can't have put no work in, but be as nice as you are, and just come into the scene and say, yo, I need to get in because I'm nice. I know how to do that.
And that's
you got to go through the footsteps, and you got to go through the hard times and really build on it. So, you know, I've definitely been through the same thing. Even when I started with SE, I feel like I was so low, and I built myself.
And SE really takes notice to stuff like that. Like, I mean, maybe in today's world, probably not as much, but that's because SE has already gotten to the point where they've been building their team for years, and they've been looking at all these different people, and they are seeing, they've been in the game just as long as me. They see what works, they know what works, and they know what's gonna last, and they know what's temporary. So it's like, you can't really just, you know, expect free stuff from anybody. I was surprised and I was shocked the one day I woke up, I'm like, yo, I'm just doing this stuff for fun, trying to get my work exposed on the page to get some more followers, and Todd Lyons hits me up in my DM like, yo, dude, give me a call. And I'm like, give you a call? Like, Todd Lyons just DM'd me personally and gave me his personal phone number to call him? You know, I call him up and he's like, you know, hey, I see you riding that GT mountain bike, which was actually my dad's. He let me borrow it because my bike broke. And he was like, yeah, we want to send you one of our 2016 Big Rippers, and I believe this was in 2017, because the red and chrome was already out. And he sent me that, and I was just, bro, I was stoked. Like,
it was up from there.
That's what really kicked it all off. That's what kicked it all off. Knowing that I was
back then too, because like nobody was getting a bike. Like, back then, that was like, honestly, like, when you got a bike, like, it's like, damn, like, he on. Like,
yeah, people think
they gave me the dub, I didn't get sponsored for a month later. I got that dub, people like, damn, like, Goodrich really on now.
And you want to know something? I want to say,
you know you on though once they give it, because like, okay, they seeing everything I do, they really watching me. Not only are they watching me, they going out their way to take care of me when they didn't have to, and then that's where, you know, you can build on it and use their huge platform to, you know, keep pushing with, like you did with the videos. And, you know, even it's crazy. This how you know how solid Todd is and you are. Like, even like the Philly ride, you know what I mean? Like, you're working with whole other brands. You pull up on a collective. Didn't you? I'm pretty sure you put up like on a collective to the Philly thing.
Oh yeah.
To the Airbnb.
Was that was SC3, right?
Yeah, the SC Philly joint.
That was this year.
On the collect, but you're still invited. Well, it didn't matter.
And Todd even said it himself. He was like, hey Bloom, get up here. He was like, Bloom's definitely paid his dues to the the game, and he gave me an SE shirt
and put you right in the picture with all of us.
Step right up there.
With all, you know what I mean? So it goes to show you that when you do solid things, you work with solid people. They just want to see us all win.
Definitely.
You don't all have to be on the same team to be playing together, working together, trying. Work for the
and that really shows how much of
people in bike life. You know what I mean? And just that y'all do that is crazy. And then, I mean, that just brings us, like, you start working with other brands. Now, you even got the e-bike behind us. You done worked into the e-bike world. So you shooting a lot of commercial stuff lately. I mean, your videos is all commercials, movies, shorts. That's your style, and, we thank you for that, me and Honcho. We look at what you do and what we like and all that, and that's how we adapted our own style. So to say that, you didn't help us get where we at would be crazy, and, that's part of the reason we wanted to bring you on here, just to give you a little exposure back, as far as we can. It just goes all the way, get you on the other side of the camera for once. But yeah, man, what's it like working with these bigger brands now? Like, we see a shift from, we was all just Instagram, stuff like that, and now I know my focus, I know your focus is, shooting real stuff for these other brands where they don't need to send camera people out with us and send us the product and sit back and wait and, and see what you paid for it.
Yeah.
And see why you should work with us instead of other people, instead of working, you cut a lot of middlemen out with the cameras, because we got a lot of the skill and the whole package. So speak on it.
First things first, I could say that working, for one, I never even thought that I'd be working with any of the bike life brands, but when I realized that, you got to realize a lot of these companies are either small companies or privately owned companies, which is usually just a small group of people or one individual for the most part, putting their own money into the entire brand. And to have to go out and maybe pay an entire camera company to probably shoot you some professional content or a professional commercial, you're probably going to be looking at a couple thousand, because they have to pay the team, they got to pay the business, they got to
multiple people,
all different. It's all different types of people coming together to make something happen. Versus me, everything I know is self-taught, and not only am I behind the camera and dealing with bikes, but I'm actually in the community. I know how to wheelie. I've done the same tricks that these kids are doing. I know how people move, so it's like,
how to shoot us when other people don't.
Exactly. There's a lot of people that don't know how to shoot this kind of stuff.
But you can't get in traffic with us and keep up, because you have to be able to ride a bicycle like us first and foremost.
Exactly.
Not wheelie, but you got to be able to, weave.
And if you can't do that, you'd have to be with another person. If you don't know how to maneuver on your own, then you would have to be with another person.
You would have to catch them multiple angles, because you can't keep up.
And then you got to know how to have your situational awareness has to be up there, because it's like you're swinging. I'm swinging like $2-3 grand around in between traffic. Cars are getting mad at us and they're flying past.
Thing is, a lot of these bike life kids watching this shit like under us, they can easily get into this and do this stuff. And that's what we really want to teach, you know what I mean, on here too. Like, get into, you know, like, you started with your regular phone, and now you, like you say, you swinging $3,000-$4,000 cameras around, but you figured out a way for all that stuff to be paid for through what you're doing.
Believe it or not,
I know you worked and invested, but it made its, you made you definitely, the investments paid off. I understand.
And the crazy part is, I didn't start making any money off of this until about last year. Realistically, I've been working 9 to 5.
The best money, and it is.
What, and just riding, like, bike life in general? Just from the cameras to the bikes and everything?
From the videos, where do you feel like the future is, like, posting, like YouTube, Instagram?
The future is definitely
YouTube. I push YouTube.
YouTube is the biggest ordeal, because, again, what we do is not normal. So there's no Hollywood stuntman that can do what we do.
Right, yeah.
There's no, you know, there's no weight lifter that can do what we do. There's no professional athlete or gymnast that can do what we do. So I would say YouTube is probably the best way to make the money off of this. And now that Instagram has introduced Reels and you can make money off of Reels, if you figure out a way to get super creative with what you're doing, you go viral one time and now they're paying you $1,200 like a month. That's, you know, that's pretty serious, especially if you're a kid.
I just had somebody get a $12,000 check off Instagram. And,
hold up.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy the way you can really run it up.
I'm at Payne's with Hood, Rich, Hugo, and Ski. We shooting a podcast right now.
Alright, bet. I'm on my way.
Alright.
Yeah, guys, sliding through. But yeah, no, I really, you know, been pushing the YouTube, all that. Obviously, I get paid off the Instagram. You know, I just got monetized on YouTube. I'm trying to push that a little more, but I'm trying to show these kids that, you know, like, you started with nothing and now you working with these big brands, like doing real production that, you know, you figured out what you like to do through riding the bike and said, all right, I like this part about it, and figured out a way to really make a living that now you're getting paid. That's why I told people, I think it might have been like last episode, something like that, like, you got your own hat, like, you know what I mean? You live by yourself now, all that. Yep. Like, you really one of the few people who learn how to become successful off of riding the bikes. And, you know, I said, you working with all these big companies. Obviously, we're not going to get into all the details of what these contracts is looking like, all that, because, you know, all this stuff is still.
And the big companies is not the only thing that you have to do too. Like, look at Rosati for one. Like, when he started, it was like he literally reminded me of me.
Right.
It was like, you know, he's a kid out here with a camera. He's recording off his phone, trying to save his money up, and, you know, he got himself a little camera. It still wasn't all that, but, you know, I saw Rosati looked up to me, and when I got my camera, first of all, I got my camera for free because if any of you know who Third Eye Visions is, that's who really pushed my drive for the creativeness behind the camera involving the bikes, and as well as Mr. Business. But you know, I gave Rosati his first camera, and he took off. Yeah. Like he took off. He developed his own style. You can bring your own thing into bike life. It doesn't just have to be about bikes. Like, you can look at what Corey did. Corey was doing Uber Eats, doing, you know, basically vlogging, doing Uber Eats and DoorDash, and made YouTube out of it. Now he's streaming, he's doing all types of stuff. Rosati's a vlogger, and me, I'm a cinematographer, filmmaker, whatever you want to call me. And it's like, these are all real professional outlets that people do on a daily basis. There's people that don't know anything about bikes. They don't know how to wheelie bikes, and they're doing Uber Eats and they're just making vids. There's people who are vlogging, like Casey Neistat and all them people who are just vloggers. Yeah. Then you've got people like me who are shooting short films and actual movies, but the difference is everything we're doing is involving bikes.
Yeah.
Like, you can bring anything you want into this bike. It's crazy. Like, you can do anything you want in real life involving a bike. It's that simple. It's no reason for people to not want to get up and go figure out how to do something. You know, try to make custom bikes. See if different parts. See if you can make crazy contraptions. One way, Kyle, 29-inch C2 Classic that he cut and made a C2 low. with gears, that's insane. I think the people out, a couple people out in Baltimore, it might have been Mizzy and them. I saw a C2 with gears and shocks. Like,
I seen somebody, they got like a 12-speed fast ripper with wireless shifting.
What?
12-speed fast ripper. Yeah, like Bluetooth shifting, like shit crazy. Like,
yo, what?
Yeah, like you can really, and you know what I mean? Like, obviously that's how early, but you know, you can get ahead of that game and start people, listen, man, the wireless shift, you know, obviously it costs a little more, but you start finding out the plug, you know, it's technology. Technology evolves so quick that, you know, somebody about to mimic that, do it half the price.
Oh my goodness,
and then,
yes.
You can start doing it, okay, this shifter costs 180, but I could do this shifter install for you for 180, and it's the same thing, it's just a different brand. You buying this shifter for $40, now you installing the whole thing for 170, and you just using that for rep. There's always a way, there's always a hustle. And you know, I always like I get excited for the episodes where I get to bring the people like us in that, you know, have figured out a way to make a living. Like, I haven't been to work since the same week I got sponsored by SC, except I go do my snow thing because, you know, I get 30 an hour to sit in the car most of the day and then gotta hop out. Like, you know, when you really killing it, you gotta kill it when it's great, but it's light work. You get paid, you know, I get paid so much just to be there. It's a no-brainer because, you know, you always gotta go where the money's at.
Definitely.
But I've never, you know, since I started this, you know, I can't say it hasn't been hard. You know, we all go through them times. Things get hard, but you know, you see the bigger picture. Hey, yo,
no, that was crazy. I heard the smirk, and then it took me a minute to catch on. That's crazy.
Hey, yo, that's crazy.
How does C2 shit have?
What? He cut the seat pole lower because the joint sat high because the seat, and then they did the.
Then you get a C2 for.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, the C2 that I got from Collective.
You shot some videos for him, right?
Who, Collective? Yeah, the C2 that I got, they sent me it and I shot like an unboxing video, and I wanted to make the unboxing video like sort of unorthodox. So like I went on live and I started asking people for like suggestions because I wanted to do it in like a cinematic type of way. So I just made something where like I just walked in the door, carried the box, didn't even say anything, pulled the bike out the box, did a little sequence of me like putting it together, listing some specs about the different parts and the pedals, the wheels and all types of stuff.
No, I remember that one.
And
it was fire.
That was but that was the C2 Classic. The C2 Low reminds me of like a Big Ripper, and Collective bikes are the only bikes I think that the Collective bikes, I'm not gonna lie, I love Collective, but they do sit a little high. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little dumbfounded when I went from my Big Ripper Queen Bee, and I sat on the Collective and I said, this is a 27.5. Why does this feel bigger than my Ripper?
Yeah, it's just the geometry is different. It's more like, to me, I never really rode one, honestly, but it's more of a mountain bike.
Yeah.
Like it's a
I think they call it like a cruiser because it got bigger wheels too. So.
Yeah, I mean that's what all these bikes were, was cruisers. Like back in the day, they had the 26-inch, the 24. Nobody really rode them as much as a cruiser. They're just bigger race bikes. But now, you know, SE got them and they, you know, started evolving the geometry.
I don't care what nobody said. SE started
like,
the entire 29.
Yeah, then you got like
wave.
Mafia. Their stuff be like even lower.
Yeah.
Than SE. You know what I mean? So it's just like all different, you know, styles of, you know, everybody, you know, it's so new that everybody's trying.
And there's so many different bikes for different things at this point. Like,
I love the competition. I love that you know, there can't be only one company. There has to be more companies. I let you know.
And it shows that we have our own ecosystem too. Like, you know,
it shows that we're really evolving. And the one thing, it never separated none of the riders.
Oh, never.
None of these brands, I don't care.
Wait, I ain't gonna say never though. I ain't gonna say never, because it was a few times where, you know, something happened, a bike breaks or something like that.
Oh yeah, Mafia dead. Nah, I know what you're talking about. No. The thing is, it's not like, oh, Corey rides for this company now, so I'm not going to mess with it. As riders, it doesn't matter who you ride for. Doesn't matter. Like Zay was riding for like GT. He was on Harrow. you was on a collective, I'd be out here on that SC, and it'd be only us out here.
Oh yeah.
And it didn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's why
and that's
we always gonna have our beef, but that more talking about other bikes, like, oh, they dead, this is that. That's just because, like, motherfucker, I'm SC. That's what I rock with. You know, it's
like, look at
it's like basketball player.
You come to fit suck.
Yeah,
like that's just
right
how
now
it
it's
is.
the Houston versus Eagles right now, but everybody was just out Houston this weekend, and it's all love.
Yep.
And you know, little man out there talking crazy. It is where it's just friendly competition. You know what I mean? Because with us, it's never really our business. It's more this what we do. We have fun, and when we out there, when we at a big event and all the brands is out there, yeah, we gonna turn up on each other. But at the end of the day, it ain't never gonna turn to. I never really seen a bike battle get that.
Yeah, no, the bike battles have never gotten like they haven't gotten like heated.
Yeah, I mean they people talk a little crazy, but it stays on the bike. People know where it's at. So yeah, no, I just think it, you know, it's dope to see all the brands working together. You know, somebody like you work with almost all of them, and you're open to work with all of them. That's what's dope.
And I make sure that we like. I make sure that we maintain our own like little ecosystem in a way, because it's like I don't have any contract with any of these brands.
Right.
There is nothing saying like, hey, you know, we're gonna pay you over this amount of months, and you know but you can't shoot for them and them.
Right.
It's like, nah, you're gonna get a different style. You're gonna get a different style. You're gonna get a different style. It's all me, but it's a different twist to give each of y'all.
You're not paying me a big enough check to tell me who I can't work with.
Exactly.
If you're paying me a check that's 10 times what I can get, I might not even want to work with nobody else.
Exactly. You're the one. You know, you're the one throwing me the money.
I'm just work with you and make sure everything y'all is nothing but 100.
Exactly.
And then I go do my thing, and then when something else real big you know. So yeah, no, I see how you playing out, like how you setting yourself up. You know, you've been killing on YouTube. You know, just Instagram, always been sturdy. Just as a person, always been real out here. Just supporting the culture. Doesn't matter who people are. Always taking care of people. I know you just got your new bike. Just gave your other one to Zay. You know, just always looking out for people. Don't never cause no problems. I've been in situations where problems came. You know, you handle yourself professionally in the right manner. And, you know, just want to thank you for, you know, taking the time out finally to get on here. And, you know, it's the perfect time. That's why I don't never stress nobody. There's a lot of people we've been, you know, One Way Corey agreed to get on. Little Man's about to be one of the next few ones. We got people like Jaden. There's a lot of people that want to get on, but I don't never pressure, because I know when the time drops, when they actually get to sit down with me and do these episodes, that's when the perfect time is. You know what I mean? So I want to thank you for, you know, coming out here doing this, and we're going to end this, and we're going to get in traffic and do what we do best.
That's a bet.
Appreciate it, bro.
For sure.
We out.
Hollywood.